Is the Western model of helping Africa actually making Africa poorer? That's a topic that we'll be discussing today, and the reason why I believe they're making us poorer is because we can't. Africa as a continent, most of the countries in Africa are still poor. Most of African countries, of course, apart from South Africa, which I'll say is a bit different, far better from these other countries, they're still suffering. You see, the economic is not good. But the Western people, the Wazungus, are claiming that they are indeed helping Africa. They have the best of they have African interests at heart, which to me is a big fat lie. It's a no. So before we jump into this discussion of today, if you have not subscribed to this channel, we ask you to do so. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps a lot. And for those who have subscribed, we just want to say a big thank you. So, is the Western model of helping Africa actually making Africa poorer? Definitely yes. Definitely 100% yes. The Wazungus have been claiming for a very long time that they're helping Africa. They want to help Africa to get out of poverty. United States, European countries. But the bottom line of the matter is they haven't done anything to ensure Africa also becomes a developed country. What they do is just always a show off. They pretend they're helping us, rather they're taking more from us. They give us a little, but they take more from us. You see? And that's the truth. Look at most of African countries. Of course, apart from South Africa. Tell me, which African country is developed? If not chaos. Example, DRC Congo. There's chaos, and the chaos has been fueled by who? The Mzungu. Because they want to take there's some minerals, gold, everything, resources they want to take from DRC Congo. So they're making Africans to fight among themselves. Guys, what I can just tell you the truth here, these people, these are our enemies. The Mzungu is our enemy. My enemy is not Ruto. My enemy is not, our enemy is not these African leaders. The enemy is the white man. And the white man always just cares about the white race rather than the black race. There is no single day an European country or the Wazungus will want African countries to be above them. That will never happen, and that is the truth. The sooner we realize it, the better for us, the better for the development of Africa. But that can't happen because our leaders have already been bribed, and they have sold our country to them. The Western model of helping Africa is conceived in hypocrisy and born in greed. Africa needs their help, not aid. We don't need their help. We don't need their aid. And if we can cut ties with them, then we'll be able to develop. The sooner we cut ties with them, we'll then develop. That's when we'll be able to develop as a country. But if we'll continue to be under their shadow, then we won't grow. Africa really seeks real partners in development. Trade partners and real investors. But what happens, and this is what happens, the West dictates trade terms, sets the price, you refuse, we connive and suffocate you. Let's say, for example, if you have a leader who is opposing, if there's a leader who is currently opposing them, they'll do whatever they'll have to do just to get him out of the picture. And I don't want to go deep into that matter. That one is for another day. Let's just talk about what happens. The West bribes a few individuals, aka leaders, with dollars and realize so that they sell their countries. The West dictates what the so-called loans and grants are to be used for. They give you the loan. That's why I'll tell you why we are not developing. Africa cannot develop as a continent, because they give you loans, and that loan they tell you is for development. But it has some, you don't just use it. It has some. The loans are being given to African leaders, but it has really the ones who are telling them what to do the loans. You see, it usually has nothing to do with uplifting the majority of poor. That's true. It is usually for a power dam to provide steady electricity for investors, factories, road lending, leading to investors' minds and so on. Western help leaves Africa more indebted to the West, leads to influx of sizable Western population into Africa as diplomats, expatriates, and consultants, all paid using the aid and loan money. That's why we ourselves are the ones who will have to fight for ourselves, because these leaders, and it has already been shown, they cannot help us. They've already been bought, they've already been bribed, and that's the truth. So the only way, or we are the ones who can get ourselves out of this issue, out of this mess, if our leaders cannot, because they've already been bribed, they've already been given money, they've been given villas, they've been given anything they want, you see. And our leaders don't care about us, they don't care about the poor, they only enrich themselves, they don't care about us. You see, the majority, half of it ends up going back to Europe. A quarter rents premises and buys SUVs for their work and insurance and international travel. The final 25% is disposable within the country. And you're telling me the model doesn't make Africa poorer? It actually helps the West more than it helps Africa. They're giving us the money, they're taking it back. You know, not many of us understand how this game is being played, and the sooner most of us will come to realize how this game is being played, then you will understand what I'm saying and why I'm insisting that the Western model of helping Africa is making Africa a poor continent. Look at educational system. Example in Kenya. Why is most youths are unemployed? The 844 system was a crap. That's why the government decided to do away with it. The education system that the white brought to us, it wasn't to benefit the majority. It was only to benefit the few individuals. And of course, many will say, oh, you know, the few have been able to be successful. I'm not talking about the few who have risen to success or to fame because of the education. And I'm not disputing that education is not good. Acquiring knowledge is so good, you see. But I'm talking about the majority, you see. And the Mzungu, the white man, knew that if he brings in a system that will enable Africans to remain poor and suffer and don't have jobs so that they can build their continent, then they will be above them. That's why they brought this system. For example, these international schools that are in Kenya or that are in Africa, which system are they using? They're not using the 844 system, and these are British. These are international schools that are using the British system. Why are they not using the Kenyan system, that 844 system? Why? Because they knew what they were doing. Education system failed. It failed, and that's the truth. Majority of countries that were colonized by British, most of the youths are unemployed. Countries like Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, and you're telling these people have good interest of Africa. The health system has failed. How many hospitals that treat cancer are here in Kenya? How many? A few to be counted. Majority are where? In the West. Where? In the West. That's why I say they give us the money, we build some few infrastructure. At the end of it all, again, this money that they give us, the same money we'll use to go back, we'll turn to them so that we go and treat ourselves. The health system has also failed. Everything that these people brought to us failed because they knew that if they gave us the right things, then right now Africans, there will not be this thing called brain drain, where they take the best equipped African who have the best brains, because they know they cannot be able to survive in Africa because of poverty, before suffering. They promise them good life, good job, so they tend to tell them that the only way you can get a good job, we can offer you good life and what, is when you come and work for us. So it's like you're deserting our continent. Who are we leaving our continent from? For these leaders to continue looting while we're away from our country? That cannot happen. So that's the truth. We need to realize this, and we need to preach this thing in religious places, in churches, in mosques, in everywhere, that our enemy are these white people, and that's the truth. So the sooner we realize, the better for our development as Africa as a whole.